Welcome back to our channel. Japan is known for its safety, but even in this peaceful nation, there are dark and chilling mysteries that remain unsolved. In today's video, we're diving into 3 unsolved cases that have left both authorities and the public searching for answers. Let's dig into these stories together. Our first case is a well-known and perplexing unsolved case, the murder of Yasuko Watanabe. This case, which shocked the nation in 1997, remains shrouded in mystery despite the wealth of evidence left behind. How could such a brutal crime go unsolved? It was the early hours of March 1997 when the body of Yasuko Watanabe was discovered in a room within an old apartment complex. This room was in Maruyamacho, near the top of Dogonzaka in Shibuya, Tokyo. This location is in the heart of the red light district. Yasuko, a 39-year-old employee of Tokyo Electric Power Company, TEPCO, was well respected in her professional life. But as the investigation unfolded, it became clear that Yasuko led a double life. Yasuko Watanabe was known as a diligent and successful career woman. She was an accomplished graduate from Keio University's Faculty of Economics, having achieved near-top grades. By day, she worked at Tokyo Electric Power Company as an economic analyst at TEPCO. By night, after leaving work, she would head to a love hotel in Shibuya, where she worked as a sex worker. It was this double life that would lead investigators down a dark and complicated path as they sought to uncover the truth behind her murder. Yasuko's body was found by the manager of the building, a Nepalese gentleman in a degrading condition with clear signs of a violent struggle. The autopsy revealed that she had been strangled to death. The crime scene provided investigators with a significant amount of evidence, including fingerprints, DNA, and personal items belonging to both Yasuko and the suspected perpetrator. Govinda Prasad Mainali, a 30-year-old Nepalese worker who was allegedly one of her customers, was arrested and charged for the murder. Govinda consistently maintained his innocence after being found innocent at first trial, found guilty on appeal, had his appeal dismissed, and was tried again. In 2012, he was found not guilty after spending 15 years in prison with only 68 million yen as compensation for his wrongful imprisonment for those 15 years. As the investigation stalled, the public's interest in the case only grew. The media latched onto the story with sensational headlines speculating about Yasuko's double life and the possible motives behind her murder. In the years that followed, numerous theories have emerged about who might have been responsible for Yasuko's death. Some believe that it was a client who turned violent, while others suggest that the killer may have been someone connected to her professional life. Despite the passing of over 2 decades, Yasuko Watanabe's murder remains unsolved. The case is still open, and investigators continue to hope that new technology or a fresh lead might finally crack the case. Our second case is another one of Japan's haunting unsolved crimes, the Setagaya family murders. This case is also one with an abundance of evidence but no answers or arrests. Let's explore the chilling details of this tragic incident. Setagaya is a residential district in Tokyo, known for its quiet streets and family-friendly atmosphere. But on December 30th, 2000, this peaceful community was shattered by a brutal crime. The Miyazawa family, Father Mikio, Mother Yasuko, 8-year-old daughter Nina, and 6-year-old son Rei, were found murdered in their home, a crime that is still talked about today. The Miyazawa family lived in a two-story house in the Kamisoshigaya neighborhood of Setagaya. The killer was believed to have entered through the upstairs bathroom window. After strangling Ray in his bed, police determined he used a fish knife he had brought with him to stab the other three family members to death. The crime scene was discovered on the morning of December 31st, 2000, when Yasuko's mother, Haruko, came to the house after being unable to reach her daughter by phone. The killer's actions were both brutal and bizarre. After committing the murders, the perpetrator did not flee the scene. Instead, he stayed in the house for several hours. During this time, he ate food from the family's refrigerator. He used their computer to browse the internet and even left behind his own feces in the bathroom, which he failed to flush. This bizarre behavior left investigators baffled. Despite the chaotic nature of the crime scene, the killer left behind a significant amount of evidence. This included fingerprints, DNA, and even articles of clothing. Based on the evidence at the crime scene, the suspect was a young male in his late teens or early 20s, of slender build and medium height. The police also found that the murderer had used a sashimi knife taken from the Miyazawa's kitchen, as well as another knife that he had brought with him. The level of evidence suggested that the crime could be solved quickly, but more than 2 decades later, the case remains unsolved. In 2020, Mikio's mother, now 89, stated, "There are many leads. Why can't it be solved? I want to know the truth," she said. Why did the murders take place? Why did my grandchildren, who are very young, have to be killed? These questions remain unanswered. Our final case is the story of a young girl who vanished during a camping trip in Yamanashi Prefecture. Let's get into the case of this missing 7-year-old girl. It was September 21st, 2019. A family and their friends decided to take a break from the hustle and bustle of city life and enjoy the beauty of nature. They chose a popular campsite in the Doshi village area of Yamanashi Prefecture, surrounded by lush forests and mountains. Among the group was a 7-year-old girl, who we will refer to as Girl A to protect her identity. After eating snacks at around 3:35 p.m., the other children went to play in a stream about 150 meters away, and Girl A followed them alone at around 3:40 p.m. An adult came to pick her up 10 minutes later, but it was discovered that Girl A was missing at around 4 p.m. Her parents and the other adults in the group immediately began searching the area, calling out her name, but there was no response. After an hour, panic started to set in as they realized that their daughter was nowhere to be found. They contacted the authorities, and a large-scale search operation was launched involving local police, search and rescue teams, and volunteers from the surrounding areas. For days, hundreds of people scoured the dense forest, the nearby rivers, and the surrounding mountains. The search was relentless, with helicopters flying overhead, drones scanning the area, and the self-defense force even joining. But despite their best efforts, there was no sign of Girl A. It was as if she had simply vanished into thin air. As the days turned into weeks, hope began to fade, and the on-the-ground search was withdrawn on October 6th. The case captured national attention, with media outlets covering every aspect of the search and the mysterious disappearance. The public was captivated, and the question on everyone's mind was, how could a child disappear so suddenly and completely? Theories began to circulate, ranging from an accidental fall to the possibility of an abduction to accusation of the mother being responsible. Despite the intensive search efforts, the case took a tragic turn on April 23, 2022, nearly 3 years after Girl A went missing. Skeletal remains were discovered approximately 600 meters from the campsite where Girl A was last seen. The remains were later confirmed to be those of Girl A through DNA testing. It was a devastating confirmation of the worst fears that had loomed over this case. The discovery of Girl A's remains brought some closure to the mystery, but it also raised new questions. How did she end up in that location, so close yet so far from where she was last seen? Was it a tragic accident, or was there more to the story? The fact that all three cases remain unsolved, despite the abundance of evidence, only deepens the mystery. What do you think happened? Could the killers still be out there, or has the truth been lost to time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching. If you found this video compelling, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more content like this. Until next time, stay safe and take care.